Hi, everybody. Today I have with me Alisha Carnivore Lady. I love that name. And it's just like almost like a regal, like royalty, like Carnivore Lady.
But I'm like really laid back, and that's a lot of my followers. That's what they really enjoy about me is I am a laid back, normal person out here telling my story.
You are, and you're so relatable. Like whenever I was watching some of your videos, I was just like, oh, like we could be friends. Like I'm like totally related with you. So how did you come up with the name Carnivore Lady? Just
I was just sitting on the couch one night with the hubby. My husband is really good at coming up with things. Like, super, you want a name for a business? Just send me a message because my husband is like, so I'm just sitting there, I'm like, what can we call it? And I was like, what about this? He's like, no. And I'm like, ooh, what about Carnivore Lady? And he's like, yep, that's it. I don't know. It just came into my head.
that's it. Well, I love it. And I was so glad whenever I discovered you. And so I gotta know, what was your life like before carnivore?
Well, I was gaining weight. I was 171 pounds and gaining weight. Um, I wasn't very active. I had a lot of injuries from the military, so I had a lot of feet issues, shoulder pain, back pain. I have severe PMS, so my depression was really high.
Ah, that's the worst.
My anxiety was really high. I ate like crap, right? I was bored. We watched movies. We have to have a snack. I got home from work. I just didn't want to cook. I got lazy. I don't have any kids at my house full time, so I didn't really have to cook and feed somebody else. I just had to feed myself. So I it was miserable. I was looking at changing anyway. I was getting to the point because COVID hit, and that's when COVID hit. My mindset went more negative.
Ooh.
So I lost the sense of smell and sense of taste. And so I told myself, never again am I not going to enjoy the food I eat.
Hmm.
No, because I was like, oh, that really sucked. So my mindset was already negative as it was. Like, okay, they'll like me for who I am. If you don't look at me, right? That's how my mindset was. So I was already negative. I wore bikini still at 171 pounds. And I was like, you don't
Mm.
like it, don't look at me, right? But it got more negative with COVID because I realized the taste went away and the food, I couldn't taste my food. So it went more negative because once COVID went away, I was like, oh, I'm eating cake. I'm eating this because I want to remember the taste of it. And then I don't know what happened. Something just and me and my husband were like, we need to change. We need to change. So my husband started doing some research and found the carnivore lifestyle, and here we are. And so my life before carnivore, I guess, was miserable, but I really didn't know it until now.
Yeah, isn't it so funny? It's relative because like for me, I looked like a cannonball, but that's what everybody else looked like in Southeast Missouri. Like if I go to Walmart, I fit in. Like I look like everybody else. And so it was relative, and I had aches and pains and I didn't feel good and I was depressed, but that's what
Mm-hmm.
everybody else was feeling. And
Oh,
so it
but
was relative.
you're just getting old. You're just, you're getting older. You're 30. I'm 37. I was 36 then. No, you're just 36. I'm like, okay, okay. No, that's not why. That's not why, guys. Literally, I'm like the smallest I've ever been. Like, even when I was 100, I was 105 pounds. Like, in about high school age till I turned 25. I was 105 pounds. I am skinnier now because I have less fat and more muscle, and my face is slimmer because I have less inflammation. Because when I was 105 pounds, I was eating whatever I wanted because I was lucky, right? I was a lucky one. But that the whole you're older now is you've had kids is a complete utter lie.
Yeah. And how tall are you?
5 foot.
So 170 pounds on a 5 foot frame. Yeah. So I gotta show this really quick, just so everybody has a point of reference. So this is under Instagram, this is Carnivore Lady 208. And this was your before picture.
Yep.
And
That
this
was
is your after picture.
yeah. That was a couple weeks ago. That's 117 pounds, I want to say.
That's absolutely amazing.
Yeah,
And so go ahead, what?
I got down to 112, but then ever since I started hitting the gym, I've gained weight, but it's been mostly muscle.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. So how did this girl feel versus how this girl feels?
Listen, like I thought I was confident then. I would walk around in that same bikini. I'm not kidding you on the beach.
I
But
love it.
uh and actually it's so weird because I think I had more confidence back then to a point because people judge you for being skinny now. And now,
Mm,
and I know people are judging me like, oh, it must be nice. It must be nice. It must be nice to be as old as you are and you're skinny. Well, it is nice, but you are also won't listen to me when I tell you what you need to do. I mean, I was there too. Like, and that's one thing I have to remember when I'm talking to people is I was there too and I changed. You can change too. So I have to be mindful of that mindset when I'm trying to tell people about this because I was there, right? I was stuck in that sugar coma that, oh, where the sugar was controlling my brain and my body to do, eat crappy food. Um, so but now I'm still more confident now. And I think it's just gonna become easier and easier because I'm still honestly not used to this. It's been
yeah.
like a little over 15 months. So I think that the 13th of this month of February will be 16 months carnivore for me and my husband.
Wow.
So I know this summer, I'm sure it's going to be easier, but I know people, and then I know people are staring at me, and I don't like when people stare at me, which is really weird because I'm on social media, but they're not like in my like real life at me, staring at me. So I don't like when people stare at me, and I just know like the judgment I think is worse now than before.
Mm,
But never again will I go back to that before picture. Never ever. Like I
yeah.
can't. I can't do it. Like mm-mm.
Yeah. And so, I know just from watching you and stuff that now you work out. And so have you noticed, but you've always, I mean, you've been being in the military, you did have to do PT. So have you noticed that your capacity is greater now that you're,
Yeah.
less weight and that you're carnivore?
Yeah. So my, the amount of muscle I have gained, because I talk about every 6 weeks I get in body scans, and I do talk about that on my channel,
I
on
love
my week
that.
on my weekly updates. I do get my in body scan, and I talk about that, and I have gained not even in a year so much muscle. It's freaking ridiculous. It's just mind blowing to me because yes, being in the military, I thought I got. There was one point where but I was working out 2 hours a day. Now I'm only working out 1 hour a day because that's all I have. But before I had time. I didn't have a ranch, a little farm, and stuff like that, and other stuff on the side going on. I was stationed in North Carolina on base, so like I had time after work to go for 2 hours. But even then, like I still had pudge. I was even counting macros and weighing my food. And then I'm like, okay, well, I'm still not losing weight, so I need to change this macro and move this macro. And I was running like crazy. I actually messed up my knee and messed up my feet from running so much. And I was 135 pounds and still chunky. I am
Wow.
more, I am stronger now than I was then.
Wow.
And gaining muscle is so easy being a carnivore because you're feeding your body the way you're supposed to be and I'm fat adapted. So because I waited to work out for a few months because I started in October. I
Yeah.
didn't go to the gym until April. And so I think that's what really helped me is I waited until my body was fat adapted
Yes.
and in ketosis and full carnivore. And I have no issues. I work out fasted.
Yeah. Me too.
And I the gains are incredible. And you just feel good. And There are some days, depending on what exercise I do and like honestly how hard I push myself, where I'm sore. Like I can't move. But before carnivore, I guarantee I'd be sore all the time.
Yeah.
I was sore. I was sore all the time. Anytime I upped a thing, I got sore. It, I don't know. It's a weird experience because I just feel so. It feels different and it feels better.
Yeah. It feels like superhuman. Like, because I mean, I didn't work out at all at first either. The whole first year, I didn't work out. And
Mm.
then all of a sudden, I wanted to work out. What is that? Like, all of a sudden, I was like, I want to lift weights. I want to go
Yeah,
walk. I want to do things. And that was
yeah,
crazy for me. Did you experience that?
yeah. So I I've always really kind of enjoyed working out. I did it in like as soon as I did it, I was active in high school. I did track, I did soccer, I did 4-H, like so I showed animals, rode horses. Like I was very active as a kid. And then when I started college, I always took a PE course. So like I did yoga, cycling. So I've always loved being active. And then so joined the military was then I stopped for a little bit, but right before I joined, and I had to work out a little bit to join the military because I weighed a little like 2 pounds too much. Anyway, and so of course being in the military re-triggered that love for working out. And so working out and going to the gym and staying physically fit was never a problem. And I am an overachiever, and I had to get above a 90 on my PT test every year. So I had to test once a year. So you bet your bottom dollar I was working my ever loving butt off. But I can tell you what, I can go run a mile and a half now so easy that I'm just like, I was like on the get up to be able to get, that 90, but I'm not military anymore, so it's whatever. I'm ready for fun. But it's so easy that I know me like to
Oh,
that I just did I freeze?
oh, there you are. Okay, you're back.
Okay. Yeah. It just I don't know. I've always enjoyed working out, and then I got out of the military and gained even more weight, and I stopped working
Ah,
out. And I knew it was affecting me deep down, and then I started realizing how much it was affecting me by not being physically active after starting carnivore.
mm,
And so I love the gym. If I could have more than an hour, I would love it.
mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That's awesome. That's awesome. So, uh, whenever you started this, you were eating all the crap, like the pizza, the donuts, the soda, tell me a little bit about what you were eating before.
Oh, you have to make me remember all the crap I
I'm
was eating.
sorry.
Oh, I could tell you, right?
The
Just like
people
so
need to hear.
the people need to hear what you were doing. Okay, so the job I'm currently doing now. So I work for the government. I work for the Department of Defense, and I work with victims of sexual assault. So that is my job. So prior to getting out, I was actually doing this job, but as a military member. And my boss, I bless her heart, bless her little heart. She's super nice and giving. She provides snacks for airmen to come up and get. And it's, of course, chips, cookies, candy, right? And every 2 weeks, we meet with new airmen on base and we give them a briefing about what our program is. And they get 4 pieces of candy each, guys, still to this day. But they stink to me. Can't even handle being around the candy. But before then, I love Snickers, that I would literally go to the store on base and buy the bag of the little snack size Snickers. I can eat one of those in a day.
A
And
whole
I was
bag.
doing that a whole bag. I'm not kidding. That was I ate the whole bag in like a day, and I was doing that every week. Um, Reese's peanut butter cups. We get pizza all the time. I think a lot of the pictures that pop up now for memories are us sitting on the couch eating pizza. We always had to have a snack. So Twizzlers, uh, Cheez-Its, chips, Dr. Pepper was my go-to. I did do the diet, but that's still bad for you. I drank, the wine, girl.
Yes.
I would
Yes.
drink. You want to talk about a drinking problem? A box of wine would last me a week.
Stop. Oh my goodness. Wow.
I loved wine. And it was so bad that I had to buy boxed wine because it was the cheapest way
Yes, I would. That
for
was
me
me,
to
girl.
be. So I think a lot of my weight gain was the wine. God, we ate, I don't know, man, we ate pasta, bread. I miss bread still.
Yeah.
Breads, lots of bread, lots of pastas, um, oatmeal for breakfast.
Yes.
So good for you.
Mhm.
Cereal. I love cereal. A cereal girl. I did buy 2% milk though, so there's. So I was never a low fat person, really. I didn't really give into that type of gimmick, right? I was never really like on board with all that. But yeah, a lot
So
of
what?
junk.
Yeah, a lot of junk. So whenever you switched over, did you do it gradually? Did you do it all at once? Did you just eat animal meat and animal fat? Like, what did it look like for you?
Okay, so my journey first started actually with a different diet program called Optavia.
Oh, yeah, I watched this video. Yeah, that was very interesting. Go ahead.
So, that's why my journey started 2 weeks after my husband. So he started October 1st because he started once I told him I wanted to start losing weight because there's something triggered right in my head. He started searching for things on YouTube, fastest way to weight loss type of diets, right? And he found the carnivore diet, but didn't tell me because he's like, dude, my wife ain't gonna listen to me with this crap. There's no way. Like, this can't be true, right? So he started. So, but that's the same time he started, I started the Optavia diet. And so I was 2 weeks into that before I said, I can't do this. We were hunting. We were still kind of camping. So we went hunting. I had to like, hang on, let me grab my snacks because you have to eat every 2 to 3 hours on that. And you have to eat their food for 5 meals. And then you have to make your own for the sixth meal. And you have to have this chart. And if you have this much creamer in your coffee, then you can only have this much ranch on your salad that you're. It was a lot of work. It was very stressful. And I was done after 2 weeks. And I decided to finally watch a couple videos he sent me. And I was like, no, this can't be right. And he's like, yeah, I've lost weight. I'm like, this can't. And I just finally just jumped on the bandwagon and I went cold turkey after that.
Cold
So
turkey?
I literally called up the lady that sold me Optavia. I was like, I'll sell this to you for half price. Do you want all this stuff back? I don't care if I'm losing money. It was a lot of money, by the way. I don't care if I'm losing money. I don't want this in my house.
Wow.
I did keep a couple items because they are gluten free, like the little pudding pack and stuff for my son, because he's not when he's with us, we're not too strict with the carnivore stuff with
Yeah.
him, but he liked it. So I kept some of those. But other than that, I was like, no, and I went cold turkey with him. I mean, literally, my middle son, I was like, come over and grab all this crap that you don't want, that you want out of my pantry. He came and got it. I called up my best friend and I was like, hey, come get the rest of this. Okay. And we from there went cold turkey and we've been carnivores since.
So what kind of things do you guys eat?
So during the day, so mainly during the week, what I eat a pound of graham burger with 4 to 6 eggs in it. And then when I get home, I will eat, we buy the Bar S brand of the 100% hot dogs, all beef
Mhm.
hot dogs. There's, a couple additives in there, but
Yeah, they're
they're
good.
one of the they're one of the cleanest ones we can find that don't really bother us because the cleaner ones, they have the spices in them and
Yeah,
there's a spice in there. I think it's the celery powder
it
that
is. Every
we
time
can't
there's
have,
celery powder, I can't have it.
right? I eat it and I'm like, oh, I feel like crap. And
Yeah,
I think that's what it is. So, and those are super easy, simple things. So
yeah.
during the week, that's kind of what we do. Um, Now on the weekends, we get kind of crazy with it, guys. I'll make a roast in my Ninja foodie, super easy. I just add water with the meat and salt, pepper. Okay, don't come after me for the pepper, guys. Okay, if you don't want to do it, don't do it. But I do salt and pepper on my roast, and then that's usually what we eat. Tonight, actually, today, even though it's a weekday, I'm working from home, and so my husband was home too. We had smoked burgers.
Yum.
Um, yeah. So Mainly beef. We eat a lot of beef. We get it from my local rancher here in Idaho, Thomas Cattle Company.
Yeah.
Love them. Their family's amazing. They do ship across the US, except for I think Alaska and Hawaii, they don't ship to. But they ship across the US. Their meat is amazing. We've tried, like, I can't even eat store-bought meat anymore.
Yep.
If I run out of Thomas Cattle Company, I'm crying because I can't eat store-bought. Like, we get store-bought stuff and I'm just like,
Yeah.
um, so we mainly eat burger. We eat a lot of burger.
And so before you were drinking soda, what do you drink now?
Um, Lots. So I've always actually liked water too. I was never like maybe one soda a day type of person. I was never a all the time soda drinker. Water. We love Element.
Yes.
I love Element. I know there's stevia in there, so a couple people are gonna be like, eh. To each his own, guys. Don't come at me. They do have a plain one if you don't want your stevia. The amount of stevia they use though is good because I can't have stevia. It hurts me. My joints start hurting. So what
Mm.
I don't know if it's the brand they use or they just use enough that it doesn't bother me and I can have that. So we drink the Element electrolyte drinks. My favorite is raspberry and the lime. My husband loves the watermelon. I don't really particularly care for the watermelon one. The new one, the chai tea, girl, that's what's in this cup.
Mm. Yeah.
So good. And then I do the Keto Chow daily minerals. And then my husband takes the Keto Chow electrolyte tablets. I like the minerals because I noticed I need iodine and they already have iodine in that mixture. So instead of buying two different products, I just bought that
That's
one. And
awesome.
I'm all about not buying stuff because I've been there, done that with Optavia, right? This is probably the cheapest diet you can do. I'm not
Mm.
out here selling you anything. I'm not selling you anything. I'm not selling you a pill. Oh, just take this and watch me lose weight because it changes your sugar into starches and you just poop it out for $60 a month, guys. No, like literally go to the store and just buy meat and eat it. If you want to, buy the Element, buy the Keto Chow. If not, just put some sea salt in your water because you'll feel better.
Oh yeah,
Like,
absolutely.
and yeah,
So,
and
oh, go ahead.
I do drink sparkling waters sometimes, like the flavored sparkling waters. I just make sure I get the ones that don't have any like juice flavor added. Like I get the Albertsons brand. I think it's called Soli or something. My husband loves the Zevia sodas. I can't even drink them. The Zevia in that, the stevia they use hurts me so bad.
Mm-hmm.
My knee starts hurting, my wrist starts hurting. I can't even drink them, which is sad because they do have a Dr. Pepper flavor one.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm like, oh, well, it is what it is, guys. Because guess what? I'd rather be healthy and live a healthy, full life than be in pain and miserable.
Yeah. So how did it go from drinking a box of wine a week to not drinking a box of wine a week?
That was probably the thing I didn't go straight to carnivore with. But I noticed that I started not wanting to drink anymore.
Wow.
It is weird because I come from a family of drinkers. That's all we do. I've been drinking, hope I don't get in trouble for this, for a long time. So I'll just say that. I've
There
been
we go.
drinking for a long time. Okay, so it runs in both sides of my family. Alcoholism runs in both sides of my family. So I just had a mindset, well, I'm just gonna be an alcoholic, right? Bad mindset, don't have that. Change it right now. It runs in the family, it's fine, right? I don't know. I just felt like I needed to change. It was like, I don't know, my body was just like, no, no, you're not doing this anymore. So it
Wow.
gradually went away to where now I actually stopped drinking full bore except for on very special occasions. Thanksgiving.
Wow.
I don't
Wow.
drink hardly. I don't have wine in the house anymore.
Oh my gosh. So
I don't.
it just wasn't interesting to you anymore.
No. And then what I started noticing too, like during the summertime, I was still drinking while we went camping. A little, like only a little bit. I can only drink a little bit now. I get tipsy off a small thing.
Yeah.
Before it was 2 glasses and maybe I felt something because that's how much I drank. Now I'm like sip on wine and I'm like, whoo, girl, we're getting crazy up in here. So I noticed this summer I started not feeling good after drinking just a small amount, and I did not like that feeling anymore. I was like, "Oh, I felt like this all the time and didn't notice." My stomach hurt and I could just feel my liver like, "Girl, what in the heck are you doing?" So like I'd wake up
Yes.
the next day and I'm just like, I don't feel, and it felt and I don't like feeling because during the week I didn't feel like that. And I'm like, I'm not playing this game. I don't want to feel I want to feel
Yeah.
good, especially while we're camping.
Yes.
So that really helped. And then um I don't know what happened after Thanksgiving. I was like, no, I'm done. I don't want to do it. So
Wow.
at the last time I had a drink was actually a couple weekends ago. We went to one of my family members. They're raising money because their barn burnt down, and so we went. And I had a glass of
Hmm.
I get the driest wine I can that's available because it has less sugar in it.
Yeah.
So I get the driest wine, which is super weird. I'm a sweet wine girl, and now I'm like, don't give me that sweet stuff. I want the driest because it's sweet to me now. I'm like, it's sweet, it's crap.
Yeah.
It's so dry, and I'm like, it tastes so good. What are you talking about? And I only get a little bit, and that's it. Because if I drink any more than that, I feel like garbage.
Yeah.
So I'm just done. Like I'm just like, eh. It's the weirdest thing, and I still get weird looks from my family. It's like, you don't drink anymore? Nope. What? And I'm like, no, don't drink anymore. Holy crap. And I'm just like, I just couldn't. And I'm like, yeah, I thought the same thing. But here I
That's amazing. It's totally changed you. So were you ever addicted to caffeine?
am. So I still drink coffee. So I guess that's another thing I drink. So
Good.
yeah.
No, that's okay. That's okay. I think that's really important to talk about because I continued drinking coffee for the whole first year and a half because I knew that I was already breaking the addiction to sugar and processed foods. It was
Yeah.
like my central nervous system needed to keep that on board. And then I broke my addiction July 4th of 2020. It was my Independence Day. And that was intense.
I
Um,
bet.
in retrospect, I would not have gone cold turkey. That was stupid. I went cold turkey on July 4th, and it took me about a week to process that. It was very, very, very intense. But I always want to talk to people about that because they think they need to do it all at once, like everything at
Mhm.
once. And I'm like, no, 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 no. Your
Yeah.
central nervous system's already freaking out because you're not eating all the junk, all the
Yeah.
sugar, all the grains, all the stuff. So gradually get into that. So I'm glad to hear that you kept the coffee.
And I am so to each his own. That's how I feel. So I have people come at me on my comments, and I'm like, dude, stop. Like pepper's not carnivore. That's keto. Listen, Linda, go somewhere else. Okay.
Listen, Linda.
I am carnivore. Okay. So, but
Yeah.
I still drink coffee. So they come after me for that. And I'm like, I don't drink, we don't really drink a lot of coffee though. I have like my cup in the morning and that's it.
Hmm.
So I'm not a whole pot a day, constantly drinking coffee, and I don't ever drink water type of person. I never been that person. So
Yeah.
that's kind of like my reasoning. Plus, I'm also scared. So, and I just love it. It's like I like the hot stuff.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that's why like they came out with the chai tea element. I just put it in hot water,
Yeah.
and that's how I drink it. And it's so good. So that really helps. But yeah, I don't know if I'll ever get rid of coffee or not.
That's okay. You don't need to. It's not
Yeah,
necessary.
yeah,
Um,
I like it. So
yeah. And so have you noticed any other side effects besides the losing weight? Have you noticed any other like, oh my gosh, this is happening. Oh my gosh, this is happening.
I noticed the mind clarity
Yeah.
is like and I can process things faster.
Yep.
I learn faster, even though I'm 37. I learn faster. I can retain information better. I forget everything, and it's not as bad now. And that actually scared me because one of the signs of like Alzheimer's and dementia is not being able to keep those, the memories at a
Mm-hmm.
younger age. And I'm like, it kind of scared me because I was like, in the back of my head, I'm like, I'm probably at a high risk of having that. And it's scary. I don't want to forget my kids or if they have grandkids or my husband. Like, that's scary as crap. So I know that like my forgetfulness and stuff has really like not completely gone away, but
Mm-hmm.
it definitely has decreased. My depression is fairly non-existent,
Wow.
and so I have severe PMDD. So I
Mm-hmm.
have it's severe PMS for people that don't know that,
It's
and
severe. Yeah.
it's severe to where the point when I got first diagnosed, I end up locking myself in my kid's bathroom because I had a extreme and major anxiety attack, and I did not want to be alive anymore.
Yep.
My husband had to break down the door to get in to the bathroom,
Wow.
and he's like, "You need to go get help because it wasn't the first time."
Oh,
But 2 days later, I was like, "No, I'm fine. I feel fine, right? Because that's what PMDD does. You only experience it before your PMS, before you start your period." TMI for people, sorry. But I was like, "Oh no, I'm fine now. I'm fine now. I don't need to go get help." But he's like, "No, you need to go get help. You're making an appointment." So I made an appointment. I got diagnosed with that. I was on Prozac for I want to say 6 to 7 years
wow.
before I started carnivore.
Wow.
That's not good.
Mm,
But
no.
that's the only thing that fixes it.
Mm-hmm.
Little did I know, carnivore was my miracle drug.
Yep.
They literally, like, I'm gonna get teary because it literally saved my life.
Mm.
It literally saved my life. I was on Prozac, and that's not good for you. Um, my cousin teases me because I get really emotional now. Before Prozac, I was numb to everything.
Yeah. Yeah.
I didn't get teary eyed over things or laugh till I cry type of stuff because I just couldn't. My body physically couldn't cry.
Yeah.
I couldn't get emotional about things or any of that stuff. So now I don't take Prozac. I still get anxiety attacks sometimes during that time of the month. And that's where I found out I can't have dairy.
Yep.
So I did my challenge in May where I did the beef, butter, bacon, and eggs challenge on my channel. I eliminated dairy for 30 days, and I noticed that during my cycle, it was better. And I'm like, weird. Okay. I started eating dairy again. My husband's like, nope, get that the heck out of the house.
Oh my gosh.
He's
You
like,
could tell
no.
a difference. Wow.
And I can tell the difference like over Thanksgiving and Christmas. I made my no bake cheesecake. I could tell. And
Mm.
that's the only dairy I had was just cream cheese. And well, I guess it has heavy whipping cream in it. I can't.
Oh my goodness.
I cannot have cheese or milk or yogurt.
Yep.
None of that. I will eat it if I need to.
Mm-hmm.
Like I have to travel for my job a couple times throughout the year. So if I'm at like a buffet and the scrambled eggs have cheese, but then I tell myself, okay, you're probably going to be off. So
Mm.
just remember that and try to control it. And it's easier to control when I have those anxiety attacks too.
That's awesome.
And so yeah, so it's literally I don't know, it's so hard to explain to people unless you can experience it yourself
Yeah.
sometimes.
Well, and that's
Um,
why I help my clients all the time is I'm like, we're not saying no forever, all of these foods. We're saying,
yeah.
let's do an experiment. Let's remove it for 30 to 45 days and let's just see what happens. And then
Mhm.
it doesn't matter what Dr. So-and-so says, or this food sensitivity test says, or this blood thing, or what your cousin thinks. You did your own experiment. And so then dairy is a problem for me. And then
Mhm.
it's done. It's not like you have to keep having this fight with dairy.
Yep.
I know. I know what dairy does to me, and it's over.
Yep. And that's like where when people are on my channel, that's why I always say, okay, if this is not for you, but you love following me, cool. Eat healthy whole foods. That's all I'm asking.
Yes.
Because it's way better for you than whatever the heck I guarantee you're eating now.
Yeah.
And that's where like people come at me in my comments saying, like, oh, pepper's not carnivore. Okay. But it doesn't bother me. So I added it back to my diet.
Yeah.
One little tiny plant. Okay. Okay, I'm ketovore then, guys. My bad. Like,
Yeah.
the amount of pepper I eat is so minimal that it doesn't like stop. I'm not here eating the whole dang pepper plant, guys. Like,
You know what? I had somebody call me out. I had been carnivore for over 3 years. And I was actually on a raw kick. And so I had been eating raw carnivore for at least 2 years. And
wow.
someone called me out and said I wasn't carnivore because I posted a picture of a hot green tea. I'm not carnivore. I was
No, you're
like,
not.
what? I was like, okay, you can take my card. I don't care what you think. I had an unsweetened hot green tea. Like, leave me alone, please. Like, you're not my people. You're not my audience. Go away.
Funny thing is that the herbs like that, green teas and um like eucalyptus and lavender and all those other healing
It's
plants, yes,
medicine.
they can be used as medicine. And that doesn't mean because I use them as medicine that I'm no longer carnivore.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's so frustrating a little bit. It gets me a
Yeah.
little bit riled up. I'm like, and people like call my I made one recipe, and because I put stevia in it, they're like, you need to rename this keto. This is not. Well, it was I think it was my cinnamon rolls I made. I made carnivore cinnamon rolls, and I put stevia in it. This is keto, not carnivore. You're misleading people. Change your title.
Oh my gosh. Oh my
I'm
gosh.
like, no,
That's so
because some
funny.
carnivores still eat stevia. Calm your britch. Like, stop. Like, stop being the carnivore. Like, I guarantee you're not eating carnivore, so don't come at me.
No, no, I think that's the funniest thing. Funniest thing. So I gotta ask you because so many people, they change the way that they're eating and they get their life back and they get their joy back, they get their mental clarity back, and then they go along in their happy little life. Why did you choose to start a YouTube channel and share this experience with other people?
Thanks to my amazing husband, he says, I have a great personality. I need to show the world my great personality and what I'm doing. He's like, people are going to love it. People are going to love you. And I'm like, people want to listen to me. I have 1,600 subscribers, guys. I never in a million years thought 1,600 people want to listen to me. Like, never, ever, ever, ever. Like, it goes up one and I get excited. You can ask him. I'm like, oh, subscriber today, right? And it's not even that big. But listen, I love it. I like my small channel though because I can interact with all of my followers. You leave a
Yeah.
comment and it's not rude. I may delete it if it's rude. I may comment back, or my follower may say something and I think it's funny. So those are three things you get if you're gonna be rude. But I always comment back or heart or like my followers' comments. I want to stay dedicated to that. So if my channel gets really big, I'm gonna be busy.
You're gonna have to hire help. You're gonna have to
I
hire help.
will, because I'm gonna be like, I need some help. But I like interacting with my followers now. So like, I was still weirded about starting my channel. Awkward as all get out. My first videos I can't watch because I'm like, girl, my husband's like, you'll get it down because you could ask him. I'm like, I get done with that video. I'm like, oh my gosh, if I
Mhm.
say one more time,
Yep, yep.
like I should have the amount of editing I had to do prior. Like I'm getting better at knowing what I'm saying, what I'm going to say, and not editing my videos as much. The amount of editing I was doing when I first started, man. If only
Mm,
people, only if I had those videos still saved.
yeah. Well, and what I've found the message that I got from people the most, because I started on food stamps in a trailer. I was
Yeah,
living in a camper and I would just pop up my video, you know, in my camper. And what I got from people the most was, I love how real you are and unpolished, that
Yep.
I literally just talked to my phone. Like that's what I was doing. And
Yep.
I think that's more relatable because people need to know that you can start wherever you're at.
And
And
you don't
that's
have
what I
to
love about your channel.
you don't have to be a doctor. Like I'm just
No.
a normal person. Like, yes, am I going to be a school to be nutritionist? Yes, because that's where I want to go with my path, right? I want to coach people and I want to have that credibility, right, of coaching people. And I
Yeah.
want to have that degree. So I can be like, I'm not, and then that also shows I am not following mainstream nutrition, guys. I purposely turned down a nutrition job that pays the same I'm making now because I can't preach the carnivore lifestyle. He literally told me, no, I could not allow you to talk about what you're doing with my clients, even though what you're doing is the correct thing to do.
Oh my
He
gosh.
told me that because he's mainly ketovore. He's a little bit keto, probably a little bit more on the keto side, but he agrees with what I'm doing. He thinks it's amazing. He thinks most people should do it. But he told me I couldn't talk about it. And I was like, there's no way. You are no way, no way am I going to sit back and let them control us more. No.
No.
And that that's why I keep continuing my channel too.
Mm.
So I almost quit because it's hard.
Yeah.
I do. I love once I get started and get on the video, I get pumped and I'm like, yeah, I'm glad I got on and did it. And when I get comments and
Oh,
new
when
follow,
you get those messages, when people hear, like, I will never forget. I got this message and this guy was going to commit suicide. And he saw one of my videos and he just started overnight. He started eating fatty animal meat and he sent me a message and he's like, I'm not suicidal anymore. He's like, I didn't kill myself because of you. And I'm like, huh, like it's all worth it. It's all worth it to get that message.
yep, I have one main follower and yeah, he's awesome.
That's
He,
amazing.
he he will comment about every couple videos. He'll send me a big long comment and just tell me how he's doing, and he's really pumping his wife up to get on, and he's really trying to change their viewpoint. His wife's viewpoint, and get her on at least keto, and so it's really cool. And when I do my lives, he'll hop on. I actually haven't done a live in a while. I need to do another live, but he'll hop on and chat with me on the live, and yeah.
That's awesome. Yeah, the main thing that I tell people whenever they're like, "Oh, I could never do what you do." I just say, "No sugar, no grains." If you can't do anything, no sugar, no grains. Do that. It's a great place to start for people who are just like elbow deep in a bag of Doritos, you know?
Mhm.
So much better. Well,
Yep.
is there anything else that you wanted to say before we go? Because I'm going to put all of your stuff in the show notes. I love your channel. I love what you're doing. But anything else that you wanted to share to people?
Well, if I can do it, you can do it too. And I'm here for you. I will support you. I have an email, carnivorelady208@gmail.com. Email me. I'm here for you. I will pump you up. I think this is the best decision that I've ever made in my life, besides marrying my husband. He yelled at me earlier because I was like, he's like, you didn't tell him that you married me. But you can do it too. We're ordinary people. I'm just a small town girl in a small town world, guys. Like I don't have a doctor's degree. And I learned all this stuff. Like, I don't know, it's very life changing. You don't need a pill. You don't need to pay for Jenny Craig or Optavia, guys. You don't need to be spending your money on that type of stuff. Don't do it. And you can do it. You can do it. You just need to overcome the sugar addiction. But what you can keep telling yourself is they're poisoning you on purpose to make you sick and keep you sick. Do you want them to have control over your life? If the answer is no, then you are willing to change and you can do it.
100%. I couldn't say it better myself. I thank you, Alisha Carnivore Lady. So glad to introduce you to my subscribers. Talk to you
Yeah.
soon.
Yeah.
Bye.